Now it's time for your 420 Radio News for Wednesday, June 12th, 2013. I'm Russ Elbell. Judge strikes down Colorado rule restricting marijuana magazine sales from Yahoo News. A judge on Tuesday struck down a provision of Colorado's marijuana legalization law that would have required stores to sell cannabis-themed publications behind the counter, like pornography. Magazine publishers and bookstores had filed a lawsuit against the state last week, arguing that the measure, passed by the Colorado legislature this spring, should be overturned before it takes effect on July 1st. U.S. District Judge Richard Match's ruling came a day after the state attorney general's office, which would have defended the measure in court, agreed with the plaintiffs that it is unconstitutional. New Jersey voters, pot possession should not be a crime, poll says, from NewJersey.com. Mirroring a national trend, a majority of New Jersey voters say people who get caught with small amounts of marijuana should pay a fine, but not go to prison, according to a poll released today and commissioned by the Drug Policy Alliance. Marijuana possession is a criminal offense that carries a penalty of up to $1,000 fine and 6 months in jail in the Garden State. But the poll of about 600 registered voters from across the state found 61% of respondents support making possession of 2 ounces or less of marijuana a civil matter, like a speeding ticket. Voters also want their elected officials to follow their lead on the issue, according to the poll that found 82% of those polled said they would either be more likely to vote for an elected official who supported reducing penalties for marijuana possession, or that it would make no difference in their vote. There hasn't been any action on the decriminalization bills in New Jersey in a while. A bill, S. 1977, that would decriminalize the possession of up to 50 grams, or just under 2 ounces of marijuana, was introduced 13 months ago and has not been posted for a committee hearing. Another bill, A. 1465, which would decriminalize up to 15 grams of pot, passed in the Assembly last year but stalled in the Senate. Governor Chris Christie said he would veto any decriminalization bill. Portland, Maine moves closer to marijuana legalization referendum. This from the PressHerald.com. Organizers of a petition to legalize recreational use of marijuana in the state's largest city have obtained enough signature to put the issue to the voters this November, the city said Tuesday. The milestone comes one day after the legislature voted against putting marijuana legalization on the state ballot. City Hall spokeswoman Nicole Clegg said the city council will meet June 17th to decide whether to put the question to voters, offer a competing ballot question, or simply adopt the proposed measure as written. The measure would allow people 21 and older to possess as much as 2.5 ounces of marijuana. It would prohibit smoking of marijuana in public and allow landlords to prohibit it in their apartments by posting no smoking signs. The measure does not set up any legal means for the people to get marijuana. Now that marijuana is legal, Seattle wants private clubs, from Yahoo.com. Seattle officials are recommending that Washington state authorize private marijuana clubs and examine allowing home delivery of the drug as they work out rules for a recreational pot market, according to a letter sent to state regulators. The recommendations sent by the Seattle city attorney with the blessing of the city's mayor are among the hundreds received by the state's liquor control board before a Monday deadline for public comment on the draft rules issued. Feds crack down on hundreds of medical marijuana shops in California, from BusinessInsider.com. Federal prosecutors have sent dozens of letters warning medical marijuana shops in Los Angeles and Long Beach to shut down or risk potential criminal or civil action. Authorities say that more than 100 pot clinics in Los Angeles County received the letters Tuesday. Lawsuits also were filed against 2 property owners in Long Beach, telling them it's illegal to allow pot sales in the buildings that they own. Outlawing drugs like marijuana censors science, researchers say, from FoxNews.com. The outlawing of drugs such as cannabis, magic mushrooms, and other psychoactive substances amounts to scientific censorship and is hampering research into potentially important medicinal uses, leading scientists argued on Wednesday. Laws and international conventions dating back to the 1960s have set back research in key areas such as consciousness, they argued in the journal Nature Reviews Neuroscience. Said David Nutt, a professor of neuropsychopharmacology at Imperial College in London, quote, "The decision to outlaw these drugs was based on their perceived dangers, but in many cases, the harms have been overstated," unquote. In a statement accompanying the Nature Reviews paper, he said the laws amounted to, quote, "the worst case of scientific censorship since the Catholic Church banned the works of Copernicus and Galileo." As 2009, after publicly criticizing the government for ignoring scientific evidence on cannabis and ecstasy. This has been your 420 Radio News for Wednesday, June 12th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we go behind the headlines to take a look at a case in Iowa where a man is receiving a Class C felony for acetaminophen. You'll find out how when we come back. Listening to the Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org.